All right, so that was setting up. Now, is this is a trigger for sure, isn't it? I just want to make sure that that's what that is. I think it's a trigger. I didn't get a bool there. I'm just going to delete that for a second, and then I'm going to add it again. It is definitely a trigger, right? Let's just see here. This is reconnected. There we go. All right, so let's just try it one more time here. I'm just going to click on it. Okay, all good. Okay, so now we want to actually call this from a key press, right? We don't want to be having the animator open to call this. We want to hit it with a key press. And to do that, we just have to add a little bit of code here. So I'm just going to make this full screen again. We'll just dock our animator for a second. And let's go into our character. I'm going to create a C# script. And I'm going to go ahead and call this, let's see, I'm going to call this call trigger on animator. Open that up. And now I think I've got the wrong class name here. It says new behavior script. I want it to say the same thing. Call trigger on animator. All right, let's just save that for a second and make sure that it's going to compile. No errors or anything. I think that's spelt the same. You got to make sure that your class name is always the same, right? As the name in the file name. Okay. So in this script, we need to get access to our animation controller, right? So we're going to find, first of all, we're going to find our animator. So I'm going to put, you know what? We can just make this public if we want. And that's an easy way to connect it. There we go. I'm going to save that. So I've just put a public. I could make it private and then find it in the start function. I could just do a get component to find it, which is probably a better way to do it, but this is simpler. And then once that's compiled, I'm going to put that onto my character, and I'm just going to rename this here to character just to make it a little bit. It was tied to the actual animation name, which I don't think we need. And then what I'm going to do is on my character, I'm going to add that call trigger on animator. And you can see here that it needs an animator. This is the animator we need. It's actually sitting right above. So I can just drag the character into there, and it's going to give me the animator that's attached to this character, which is the one right above. Again, I could just as easily make this a private. And then in the start function, I could just say anim is equal to this dot get component, and then I'll get the animator. And that'll do the same thing. The nice thing with that is I don't have to connect it publicly. It'll just find it automatically. And then in our update function, what we want to do is we want to get our key press. So we'll go input dot get key down, and we'll go key code dot space. Hang on, key code. Is that going to work for us? And then we'll do these, and then we'll go anim, which is our animator, dot set trigger. And then we want to set the set trigger, and I think we can just, it says we can put an ID and of the parameter. I think we can also call it by name, which is, we just have to put in quotations, cast. What did we call it again? Let's go back to our animator for a second. And in our parameters, it's called cast energy. So let's go ahead and write cast energy. Okay. There is an issue here. Key code dot space and why? Oh, hi, how are you? So let's go if input. Yeah, it's an if statement there. If the input dot get key down, key code space, anim set trigger. So hopefully this makes sense. What we're doing is we're getting the animator, and then we're getting in the update, we're looking for an key press, and it's just a simple if. If we're getting the key down space key, then we're going to set the trigger on our animator. And that's all there is to it. Oh, I don't need that extra S there. So let's save this, and we're going to come back. We're going to let it compile. If you get errors here, there could be a spelling error or something like that. And I'm just going to hit play now, and I'm going to hit space, and it's going to do the animation, then go back to idle, and hit space again, and it's going to do that cast for me. It's only going to do it, like I can only wait. I have to wait for it to finish before I can get it to go again, which is actually a good thing, right? I don't want to be able to kind of break. There's going to be like a cooldown or something. Okay, good. So I'm going to end it there, and then we'll keep going later. Or we'll keep going in about 2 minutes when we've had a chance to catch up.